had busy schedules. Wish we had more time to spare. Want you around me like air. Can't get my feelings involved, and then you not be there. Into my eyes, I'm helping people, bitch. Tell me you care. I wanna keep you around. People like us are so rare, so rare, so rare, so rare, so rare. I wanna keep you around. People like us are so rare. Alright guys, so this is gonna be a to be continued from my previous video titled Unlock the Spirit Part 2. Okay, so that video was never uploaded. I was trying to upload it before I did this one, but I was having a lot of difficulty. It would not upload. So I decided to post this one first. So in that video I spoke about using the frequency called Return to Sender by Dr. Virtual. And I want to talk about one particular time that I listened to this frequency and what I saw. Story time! So when I listen to these frequencies, I listen to these frequencies in a meditative state. So I put the headphones on and I lay back and I lay down, you know. I lay down. And in a meditative state, you are kind of sleep and kind of not. Like you're halfway sleep, halfway not sleep. You're like in between. So once upon a time, there was a little old me who was listening to the frequency called Return to Sender by Dr. Virtual. And she had a dream. And in this dream, she saw this lady. Nah, let me stop playing. In this dream, I saw this lady. She was a black lady. And she had this black gown, looked like a black gown or a robe. And then she had this head wrap. And then she had like this black paint around her eyes. And so in hindsight, I guess it was a voodoo lady. It was a voodoo lady. And I'm in the bed and I'm watching this lady put my name. I don't know if it was my name or if it was my photo. I think it was my photo. She put my photo in a jar and then sealed the jar, put the top on it, right? And I was in this bed, and after I saw her do that, I was trying to get up. And it seemed as though I was in this bubble. So I'm trying to get out of it, and I'm like, I can't get out, I can't get out, I can't move. I'm not saying it, I can't say it, but in my mind, in the dream, in my mind, I'm like trying to get out of this bubble. So then I woke up. Then I remembered seeing this girl on TikTok talk about how she was gonna put somebody's name in a jar for bullying her son. Then I remembered Jaguar Wright when she was going on her rant like a year ago, when she first started going on her rant about exposing people in the industry. She talked about Erykah Badu. And she talked about how on one of the tours that she went on with Erykah Badu was putting people's names in jars and then putting the jars in the refrigerator or the freezer. I'm not sure which one. So then I decided to look up what that was. And I looked up, it's a ritual for people who want to put a hex on people to trap them. Now, when I think about it in hindsight, so at the time when I thought about it in hindsight, I'm like, man, that's been my entire life. When I first found out I could sing and trying to pursue this dream, I always ran into obstacles, right? So I started meeting people who were interested in the same thing. So I met this girl. Her and her dad were singers. They recorded music, and her dad had a home studio. So she would let me hear the songs that they made. And so once when I met her, she made me realize, like, okay, this is possible. Because prior to that,
my mother and father did not, they shot it down very immediately. It was like, nah, you can't do that, you're not that good, you don't sing well enough to be able to do that. There's millions of people that can sing. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's unrealistic, things like that. When I met her, it made me realize, okay, this is real. This is realistic. I can do this. So her father had his own studio like at home, and I recorded my very first songs, and it was called Stay. And so at this point, I didn't have any vocal training. I didn't have any breath, technique, know how to use breath control. And he was trying to, guide me and teach me through the session or whatever. He did the best he could. And the song came out good. And he thought it came out pretty good. He was like, he thought it was pretty good. My mama thought it was pretty good. But they never really, because my mama was in the studio with me, but they never really thought that it was not, my parents never, not any of my family thought it was really possible or really, realistic to actually achieve. So, but ever since then, it was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. So, fast forward, I still was writing songs. I was writing songs, whatever. I started dating this dude. Fresh out of high school, 18 and 19. He had a home studio. And we used to record music every day in his closet. And we even started a group together. And so, at this point, we started doing YouTube covers. We started doing all of that. And once we started all that, I started having throat problems. So I'm not sounding good. Like, I'm off and on. Like, some days I'm good and some days I'm not. So then it was like, all right, let me get a vocal coach, because maybe that's the problem. So I go get a vocal coach. I start doing vocal lessons online. And that wasn't good. That wasn't doing good enough. I was like, so maybe I need a vocal coach in person. Got a vocal coach in person. And like maybe 1 or 2 weeks in, maybe 3 weeks in, I lose my job. So I can't pay the vocal teacher. It was every week I had to pay. I lose my job. When I lost my job, it was weird, because it was like, she told me that it was because the other shampoo, I'm fresh out of cosmetology school, and the other shampoo girl was going back to her other job. So I'm like, wouldn't you need me more if, but anyways, so I found somebody on YouTube for free. His name was Eric Arsenal. He had everything that I needed, right? And so I'm getting good. I'm strengthening my diaphragm. I'm learning, different techniques and different vocal exercises to help me with pitch, to help me with all of these things, right? So I'm good. I'm sounding good. Then I start having these throat issues. So I'm like, dang, it's like every time I take one step forward, it's always something. It was like, it's always something, right? So I couldn't shake that. I couldn't shake this feeling of this tightness in my throat, this swelling in my throat. I went to the doctor couldn't help me. So I thought I just was like, I was doomed. I was like, well, maybe I'm not gonna be able to just fix this. So I started to do a different creative endeavor. So I got this other job at this blow dry bar, and then I started this boutique, because I was like, well, this is something else that I always wanted to do, because all the boutiques online, it was like everybody was selling the same clothes, and I was like, I want to be different. So I started finding exclusivity. I wanted to make a boutique with exclusivity. If I'm saying that right, guys, I don't know how to pronounce nothing. But anyways, So yeah, so I start the website. You know, you gotta pay Shopify the monthly little fee to to keep the website up. I'm promoting it on my Facebook, on my Instagram. Made an Instagram page for it, everything. And I'm like, yeah, I'm at my job making more money than I ever thought I was gonna make. And then I get fired from that job. I was accused of something that I did not do. And this is how I know I was accused of something that I didn't do. When she fired me over something that I knew was weird, something that she just made up. She was like, well, the other stylists say that they can't ask you for things and you don't do your duties. And I was like, well, I do my duties. I said, I do all the duties, as a matter of fact. And so I'm not understanding, like, stylists saying they can't ask me for nothing. So then when I told one of the other stylists that was there, who also went to high school with me, she asked everybody if anybody said that, if other stylists said that they couldn't ask me for nothing, and they said no. They all said no, they didn't have a problem with you. So then one day she hired another girl, and so she was like, well, they could have kept Ariel if she was just gonna hire somebody else. And so the girl that she was talking to said that they thought I was stealing. So they accused me of stealing, but they didn't have the proof. So my friend from high school was like, well, why would Ariel steal? Why would Ariel steal when they have cameras? Did they look at the cameras? You know what the girl told my friend from school? The cameras weren't positioned right. So I'm like, okay, that was weird. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so now you accusing me of something that I didn't do. You didn't have the proof, so you made something up. And you just automatically assumed that it was me without the proof. But anyways, all of that's besides the point. So unexplainable things like that were happening to me. I just didn't understand it, right? So at this point, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to Houston. Like, at this point, me and that guy had split up. We broke up. And I moved to Houston. And I started serving tables at Papacitos. And then I got this other job. So I was working 2 jobs. Serving tables, and I worked at this other salon, right? So at this time, I meet this guy, right? This guy that I like. He was a poet. He was a poet. He did music, and he wanted to host Houston nightlife. He wanted to be a host of a club. So he hosted these open mic nights and these poetry, spoken word things and things like that, right? He offered me a spot to perform, to showcase my talent. But at this point, I don't have any original music, and I'm also having these throat problems. So these throat problems never went away. So I tried to practice at home, but like I said, it was inconsistent because of the throat issues that I was having. So I decided not to do it. So it was like, damn, that was an opportunity, and I can't even take it because I don't know if my voice is reliable because of these throat problems. All right. So then moving forward, I finally, get the courage to record a song, right? And I get to the studio. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to just push through. I'm going to make it sound as good as I can. And I get to the studio, and the engineer, or the producer, is trying to, I sent the file to his email, or I forwarded the file for the beat into my email, and it said that the file had been expired. So I'm like, dang, bruh, and I spent money on this beat and I can't even get it no more. So it was just like obstacle after obstacle after obstacle just to record a freaking song, just to get something original. Because all the music that I had recorded was with that guy that I was dating and I had broke up with on his computer. So I have nothing. So anyways, time moves forward. I still can't shake this feeling in my throat. I'm trying to push through it. I'm trying to record myself singing, make singing videos to post on my Instagram, and it's uncomfortable to sing. It's uncomfortable to use my diaphragm because remember, I told you I had this knot in my stomach. And so then, as times move forward, I can't shake this feeling in my throat, these throat issues. I can't shake it. And so 2 jobs was just too much for me. So I got a different, so my family member got me a job at her job. A dead-end 9-to-5 state job. And at that job, I didn't get paid a lot. And then in the midst of working there, I find out who my family members really were. And I had to get the heck out of there. So I went and got me an apartment, which was the plan anyways. But because of, working 2 jobs was getting exhausting. And serving tables, I wasn't making enough to pay rent just serving tables. So after I pay rent, so I get this apartment. After I pay rent, I didn't have a lot of money. After I paid my rent and my bills, I didn't have much money left. So I don't have any time. I only have the weekends off, and I don't have any time to really do anything. And I'm still having these throat issues. So in the midst of this, I'm having the throat issues, and I don't have the money. I don't have the money. So while I'm in the apartment, I found sound healing. That's when I found what sound healing was. So I find the sound healing, and I'm seeing that it's making me better. My voice, things are clearing up a lot better. But now I don't have the money. Now I don't have the money to even go record or buy beats or do anything. So fast forward, I get a better job making more money. So now I got more money. Now I got money. So now I got money, but my throat issues are getting better, but it's still not consistent. It still wasn't trustworthy. I was good and then I wasn't good. I was good, then I wasn't good. So then, fast forward. As the throat issues are getting better and I'm sounding better, I get laid off from that job during COVID-19. So during that time, this friend of mine started staying with me, started sleeping on my couch because he had other issues and he had other things going on to where he didn't have nowhere to stay. Anyways, I've told that story in other videos where he didn't have nowhere to stay, so he was sleeping on my couch. So I was like, oh, this is a good idea. How about my lease is almost up. How about let's get a 2-bedroom so we could split rent, and I have this much money left. I mean, I have, both of us, it'll save both of us some money, and we could have enough money because he was also a rapper, and we'll have enough money to do music or whatever, to do what we want to do. So I get laid off during that time, right after making that decision. Signed the lease for the new apartment and everything, right? So I'm already in the process of moving. So it was still good because I was still getting unemployment, so I still had my half. We get the new apartment, we in the apartment, everything's going good. So I'm like, yes. So I started my YouTube channel. I started my crop top line. And then I had money to be able to record. And because now my voice is sounding better, because I didn't I cleared a lot up. I cleared a lot of energy. I unblocked a lot of my unblocked my throat chakra. So now I'm sounding good. Then he gets fired from his job. And y'all know the story. I told the story in previous videos. So that set me back. Once, and then he gets fired from his job. Didn't have no money to pay his rent. Didn't have no money to pay his half of the rent. Was stealing money from me. Left me, then abandoned me, right? So now this pushed me back to where I have to start from complete scratch. Not to mention, I had complete strangers from in this spiritual community doing black magic on me, reporting my ads. This dude, baby mama, reporting my ads so that I can't post my ads anymore, so that my business won't grow. I have another spiritual YouTuber who is doing black magic on me. I have this other terrorist, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like dealing with all this energy all at once from complete strangers and somebody that I knew my entire life, plus my family member who was doing it on me. You know, I'm still trying, so I'm fighting all of this energy off, trying to clear, trying to return to sender all this energy, all this heaviness, all this anxiety, all this depression. And I finally got into a space where I left all of that alone, where I left all of those relationships in the past, cut it all off, and had to start completely from scratch. And that is where I'm at now, starting completely from scratch. Well, it's been a while now. I've been away from those people for a while, but even during this year or two where I had started posting on this YouTube channel consistently, I still was clearing up energy, plus having like a whole bunch of other spiritual YouTubers, not a whole bunch, but other spiritual YouTubers coming at me, sending energy, trying to energetic, doing black magic. I'm just gonna call it black magic. Doing black magic on me to stop me from even pursuing this damn YouTube channel. Trying to compete. Like, they would literally take things from my channel and then use it for their own channel. Like, things that I learned through my own journey, through my own experience, they're going to try to take it and use it for their own channel to empower themselves, so that they can gatekeep my recognition. Because if people see that we say the same thing, they're going to believe that the person with the larger platform said it first. One person even had the mentality of, it's not about who does it first, it's about who does it better. Wow, that's crazy as hell. So nobody's in it to really help people. Nobody's in it to really be of service to the community or to people. It's a rat race. It's a game. It's a clout game. It's a money game. It's for fame and fortune. You know what I'm saying? Because this YouTube channel is not something that I really wanted to do. This YouTube channel I was called to do this YouTube channel. I was, that's all I can say. Spirit guided me to do this YouTube channel, to share my experience. So that has been my life. So if it wasn't my own internal fears and anxiety, because when I told you this anxiety feels like this on the inside, if it wasn't my own internal thoughts, if it wasn't my own internal issues that was blocking me from pursuing this dream, it was other people in my life that I was coming across. I was attracting other people in my life who was jealous and didn't want me to pursue. You know what I'm saying? So it was like each door that I try to enter, there was always somebody blocking that door. So remember, I talked about the woman putting my photo in a jar to trap me.
which is how I felt for a long time, trapped inside of my mind. And that would keep me from taking any action for a long time. Then once I did try to take action, there was always something else getting in the way. So whether it was physical illnesses that I went to the doctor for that they could not help me with, whether it was other people who just didn't like me, whether it was people who were just jealous of me and didn't want me to progress, people who I had to depend on and wasn't dependable. It was just always something getting in the way. Then I would go back into that mental trap because I felt like I couldn't do anything right. No one liked me, etc., etc. And then the cycle would repeat.
That has been my life. It was like obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, trials after trials and tribulation after trials and tribulation after trials and tribulation. And so until I finally got to the point where I'm healed enough to not let and I'm strong enough mentally to fight that, to fight the anxiety, to fight the depression, on top of the help of the frequencies, and cleared up all of the physical issues that I had with those frequencies. And there's nothing blocking me, there's nothing stopping me now. And I can physically see the difference. I can see the difference. I'm getting a lot more recognition. You know what I'm saying? Like on my TikTok, I got, you know, I'm getting more views, I'm getting more engagement, I'm getting more. So it's slowly, I can see the slow changes. I can see the slow progress, but it is progress. So anyways, that was a story time, guys. And I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you are inspired by it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. That's pretty much everything that I wanted to say. That's everything that I wanted to touch on. His video is about to be to 30 minutes, a half hour, and I didn't want it to be that long, but anyways, I had to say it. All right, but yeah, and I'm very happy because I'm getting the recognition of people who I didn't even think would even watch any of my videos, man. Like this person, it's a particular person that I never thought that I did not think would watch my video, and he did, and he was inspired. He was inspired. He used my video for inspiration for his craft. And I'm excited. And it's just, I'm not going to say who it is. I'm not going to talk about it. But I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. So, to all of the people that hated on me, to all the people who tried to block me, who tried to stop me, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for this experience, because I wouldn't be here shedding light on something that's been in the dark. Yes, bring light to something that's been being done in the dark for centuries upon centuries, that has been hidden. People been doing behind closed doors, and I am making it something that is mainstream. At least that's my goal, to make it mainstream for everybody to know about it, for everybody to understand how it works, for everybody to become aware of their own mind and their own thoughts and their own energy, and for people to become aware of sound healing, because it actually works. And thank you for your spiritual attacks, because without you, I would not have come up with my t-shirts. I would not have come up with these songs that I wrote. Oh my gosh. So the name of my EP that I wrote is called I Made Bad Grades in School. I would not have been able to, I would not have had all this inspiration to create this YouTube, to do these YouTube videos. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all of your hatred, for all of your jealousy, and for all of your, for all of your hatred and all your jealousy. But anyways, but that's it. Y'all have a good one.
And remember, don't be a hoe.